Welcome to Home Biz Tax Talk. My name is Lysandra Everett. I am the Home Biz Tax Lady, where I help home business owners win the tax game. Home Biz Tax Talk airs Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish. And when you tune into my show, you're going to hear about topics that are important to the home business community. Okay, so during this last filing season, one of the things that I kept running into was some misunderstanding about your LLC and how an LLC files taxes. Okay, so when I'm talking about your LLC doesn't file taxes, I'm talking about single member LLCs who have not elected any type of corporate treatment. Okay. If you've got two people in your LLC, you don't have a single member LLC, you have a multi-member LLC that gets treated as a partnership, something completely different. Okay. But if you have a single member LLC and you haven't elected any type of corporate treatment, it does not file its own taxes. It does not pay its own taxes. And so I have a lot of people that are getting this confused when it comes down, to filing and paying. So a single member LLC, this is what you hear that an LLC is a disregarded entity. And what that means is that for the IRS, there are certain types of business structures. There is a sole proprietor, there's a partnership, there's an S Corp, there's a C Corp, okay? Those are the four main structures. So for a single member LLC, you're treated just like a sole proprietor. If you've got a multi-member LLC, you're treated like a partnership. If you elect S Corp treatment, then you are treated like an S Corp. If you elect C Corp treatment, then you are treated like a C Corp. So you might have an LLC, but the IRS treats you like one of those four types of entities, okay? So with that, when it comes down to filing taxes for your LLC, it's all a part of your personal return. It's an additional schedule, okay? You hear about the Schedule C. So if you had a sole proprietorship and then you have moved on and you have formed your LLC, the way that your taxes look are not going to change. That's not changing. You're still going to be filing a Schedule C. What the LLC does that you can't do as a sole proprietor is the LLC establishes the business's identity. It is separate from you, the person, but it's still on your personal taxes. So you can have 123 LLC. And you can have its own tax ID number, bank account, all of that stuff. That establishes it as a separate business. But when you file your taxes, you might be Jane Smith, but your Schedule C says 123 LLC tax ID number, and you record all of that, all of those, the income and expenses, and whatever profit and loss is then part of your personal return. Okay, so I had several people that come to me and say, okay, well, I just want you to file my business taxes. Like, no, that's not how this works. And also when it comes down to paying, you are still paying individual taxes. So if you owe money to the federal government or to the state, you are not paying business taxes. You are paying individual taxes. So if you go to pay online, there's generally an option for business and an option for individuals. You are an individual. If you have a single member LLC, that is how you pay your taxes. It is paid under your Social Security number. That's how it works. So just understand that the LLC, it provides separation of you and your business. It provides that liability protection provided that you operate your LLC properly. What I'm saying is if you keep on mixing money, you will have no liability protection. I don't care what your structure is. So you have to have that business operating separately. You can't be paying for your personal stuff out of your business account. You can't be paying for your business stuff out of your personal account. That's called commingling of funds. And that's illegal. Okay. So you might not think it's a big deal because you think, oh, it's all my money. But in the event that you do get sued or something like that, if you're found to be commingling money, like I said, paying for business stuff, paying for personal stuff out of your business account, your liability protection offered by the LLC or any other type of structure then goes completely out the window, and they attach your personal assets anyway. Okay. So that's why it's important. So the LLC is just it separates you from your business, but it's not separate on your taxes. It's not like your LLC is filing its taxes and then you go file your taxes. No, it's all one thing. The only time that you have that kind of tax treatment is if you have a partnership or an S corp or a C corp, and then that's when you hear the term a K1, where you get your distributive share of whatever that other business entity is, and that flows through to your return. But even still, those other types of business structures don't pay their own taxes, with the exception of a C Corp. The C Corp is the only structure that pays federal taxes. Now, I'm not talking about state stuff, because every state has different requirements for different types of business structures. Okay, there are some that have a minimum franchise tax. There are some that have a franchise tax plus plus a percentage of your gross receipts. That's a state level thing. It's got nothing to do with the federal government. But even still, it's still just one return. Okay, so I really hope that you get that going forward, so that because one of the things that someone said to me throughout the tax season is that, well, I want if there's any issues, I want the LLC to have the issues and not me to have the issues, like if there's a tax issue. But if your LLC has a tax issue, you have a tax issue, because that's all one thing. It's all on one return. Even if if you're S Corp or whatever, that stuff all flows through your personal return. So there is a separation of entity, but not a separation of taxes. How about that? Okay. So if you file taxes as a sole proprietor, when you become a single member LLC, that is not going to change. Your taxes are going to look exactly the same. It's just the title and the tax ID will be different. That's it. All right. So thank you guys so much for tuning into Home Biz Tax Talk. I hope that gives you some help and clarifies that for you. All right. So we are here Monday through Friday, 9 o'clock-ish, and you can tune in right here to get your questions answered about your home business taxes. All right. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.